What's going on, CDL fans? Major 2 is officially over. Atlanta FaZe have taken it, and now it's time to update our power rankings. And you know how this goes. We're over here on the Photoshop document. Let me move my camera over, get myself a little more centered. We're over on the Photoshop document, and as I said, this is post-Major 2, so this is taking into account everything that's obviously happened throughout the season, but it adjusts based on recency bias. That is how power rankings work, if you don't know. Power rankings adjust as things happen. So, of course, Major 2 is going to play a major factor in this. You know, a lot of major being said there. But if you look at the stuff down here, I mean, I don't have to touch on it too much. Let's hop right into the power rankings. At number 12, it is still the Seattle Surge. They were in the spot last week. They're in the spot again this week. They got top 12 at the major. They won one map. I mean, overall, Seattle just, I mean, they need to make changes. It is what it is. Everyone knows how it goes. Then at number 11, down 3 spots, it is the Miami Heretics. They came into the major having won 2 games. They were like 0-4. They won 2. They came into the major. They didn't win a map. They are now, they now have not won a map on land. The first 2 majors, they're 0-12 on land in map count, which is just really not good. They're definitely going to make a change. They officially released Journey from the roster today. Real's visa also got approved today or sorted out today. So I would expect at least a 1, maybe even a 2-person change for the Miami Heretics going forward. Then at number 10, down 3 spots as well, it is the Boston Breach. Another team back-to-back top 12s at the majors. Honestly, just pretty disappointing. I mean, they looked okay in hardpoint somewhat at the major. I mean, ASIM was frying in hardpoint at the major, despite them obviously not winning a series. On the whole, I mean, you know, this team is... this team's really up in the air, man. This team is really up in the air. I don't know exactly what they're going to do. You could see them, maybe people are talking about them getting rid of Snoopy. People are talking about them getting rid of Priesta or Slasher. We'll see what they end up doing, but they definitely are going to need to make a change because back-to-back top 12 is not good. And at number 9, it is the Minnesota Rocker, up 1 spot. Now, Minnesota did win a series on LAN, so obviously shout out to them, but they had a very, very poor online showing. Which is why they are up a spot, which is good, but that's why they're not much higher, even though they won on LAN. They just did not really look competitive in most series they've played in the last 5-6 weeks. So for that reason, I still have them at number 9. And just ahead of them, I do have the LA Thieves down 2 spots. Yes, I know LAT have gotten top 12 at both majors. I know that they went out last place at this major. But LAT have been competitive. They obviously went 4-3 online. Online is not as important as the major, but considering all things recently, they obviously were pretty good online. They were competitive at the major. I'm sorry you heard my Slack go off. I'll mute that now. And also, they almost beat FaZe, man. LAT were 1 SND round 11 away from 3-0ing FaZe. LAT, I still think, are competitive, and the same thing goes for the team ahead of them, which is the Las Vegas Legion. These were the 2 most competitive teams online coming into the major, both expected to make top 6, neither of which made top 6. Obviously, Legion were able to get top 8, even though Thieves got top 12. Legion, another team that I honestly think LAT will make a change for sure. Legion might not make a roster change, in my opinion. I could definitely see this team sticking. They got significantly better from Major 1 to Major 2. I feel like you give this roster a little bit more time to gel, see what you can do, come up with more game plans, work on your different problems that you have, rather than just chalking it up and getting someone new in. Then into our top 6, up 5 spots, it is the Carolina Royal Ravens. I mean, listen, man, the Royal Ravens really showed out. I mean, they won 2 series on LAN. They had a 6-5 map count, so they had a positive map count on LAN, which is also really, really cool. You know, the Ravens did their thing, man. They obviously got eliminated by the New York Subliners, but I thought they were pretty competitive. And on the whole, the Ravens are definitely one of these Lanimal teams, as I mentioned down here in the bottom of the graphic. Them and the team right above them, who is LAG, up 4 spots, are the Lanimal teams. Both of these teams starting in losers bracket, still making runs for top 6. I mean, what else is there really to say? Honestly, I could see both of these teams making changes, and I could see both of these teams not making changes simply just because of how they've been performing on LAN from Major 1 and Major 2. But also, do they really have a team that's going to compete for a top 4? Do they really have a team that's going to compete for even making winners bracket online? Like, that does have to be considered despite you getting top 6 at the major. So we'll see what happens with them. It'll be interesting to see what those 2 teams do. And then for the top 4 teams, I'm going to show them all because it's in the exact same order they finished at the major. I think this makes the most sense. FaZe obviously won the event. They're up 3 spots. They were down at 4 last week as they lost to LAG, who were the worst team in the game at that point, in my opinion. LAG apparently are way better than we were giving them credit for online. So FaZe are back at number 1. I had them winning in my bracket despite having them at 4 in my power rankings. I know people were mad about that. I had them winning in my pick'ems, and it ended up working out. So shout out to Atlanta FaZe for respecting my pick'ems. But everyone else is in order. They're all down one spot, which is kind of funny. But Toronto Ultra definitely are the weakest of the top 4 team at this point in time. I mean, Envoy had a really bad event. Insight had a really bad event. Kleenex had his moments, and Scrap looked incredible the whole time, as Scrap always does. They need to sort out their map pool issue. I don't know what it is. Their Search and Destroy also is not very good. They really got to figure themselves out going into Major 3, especially because it's their home major. I want to see Toronto do good at their home major. I'm sure we all do. I have a feeling we'll see these top 4 again on Sunday at Major 3, but it's going to be interesting to see how the game changes with possibly Vista and Departures coming into the map pool, maybe even other maps that are going to be added in with Season 3 of Modern Warfare 3 could be added. It's going to be interesting to see how the map pool changes and how that affects the teams. Maybe we do see a different team break into the top 4, but honestly, I pretty much highly doubt it. But these are my power rankings. Let me know what you think. It's hard to not just put them in the order they came in at the Major 2. That's why I try to do it a little bit differently. But on the whole, it still really is the top 4 and everyone else. I mean, I don't think there's much else that needs to be said about that. So if you enjoy CDL content, make sure to click the sub button, and I hope to see you all in the next video.